Hi, thanks for joining us. Today we're going to show you how to download and print your invoices. To begin, go ahead and log in using your affiliate number and your password, and we'll bring you up to your dashboard. So here in your dashboard you will see auctions at all stages except for the settled auctions. It is assumed that you do not need access to these any longer, so we've removed them. And if you need to ever find any auction that you've done, it should be here underneath your All Auctions tabs. But for today, we're just going to look at how to print invoices. So invoices are generated for you 2 hours after an auction begins closing. So for example, if your auction began closing at 6 o'clock, you would have invoices by approximately 8 o'clock. Give a couple minutes in there just for the process to work, but by a couple minutes after 8, you should have all of your invoices generated for this auction. We do get asked from time to time, why do we delay the auctions 2 hours for the invoices to be processed? Is because if we ever had issues, if we ever had, for some reason, the site went down for whatever reason, we don't have to send those invoices out right away. And that way, people that really shouldn't be winning bidders aren't made winning bidders, and we have an opportunity to make sure everything's right before those go out. And that's why we delay it 2 hours. Alright, so when we're ready, we can go to the auction that we want to print the invoices for. So let's just use this Metro Transit number 7 auction. And it brings us automatically to the preview, which is a screen that you've seen many times. If we go up to your stats, I just want to point this out real quick. This is a great page. It has a lot of information for you. It's going to have your invoice or your items. It's going to have your total winning bids, items with winning bids. Usually the difference between these two will be the number of items that didn't receive a bid on your auction. Any reserve information would be here. We don't use a lot of reserves here. We just think it's a little more difficult to sell things with reserves, so we typically stay out of it. This curve right here is typically going to be this shape. Firearms and vehicles, if you have a lot of those on your auction, or if it's all those, they tend to be a little flatter, but items like this, I have a very good core group of bidders on this particular auction, and they all wait till the end. They all bid each other up at the end, and it's a glorious time. This tells you how many different distinct winning bidders are on your auction. So if you have a very high number of this, expect your removal to take a little more time, because for every person that's on that, that's one more person you got to cashier, one more person you have to help load out, one more person that just wants to talk to you about whatever. It might help your prices, but it's just going to take a little bit more work. Here's your auction total. Your total winning bid amount. If an item doesn't hit reserve in your auction, that number will not be included here because it's not considered a winning bid because it didn't reach the reserve. So keep that in mind as you're going along. This is always a fun one. If you, for your watch list statistics, this is a really good thing for prior to the auction closing. A lot of times your sellers might be a little hesitant. They're like, oh, what's going on? I don't see the prices that I want yet. And it's really because of this bell curve. This is when your bidding's happening, and so this is helpful to say, hey, I got 49 people that are watching this auction, and there's 10 of them, and this is actually a pretty low number because this is such a specific type of item. But sometimes I've seen this as high as 150 people watching one item. That helps your sellers a little bit know, hey, okay, this is gonna be okay. I just got to give it a little time. If we go back up to the top, there's one more thing I want to show you. If you click on your inventory, and you go to what is your current bid, and you do a reverse search, so you can look at highest to lowest, but you can also look lowest to highest. These are your items that didn't receive a bid. Kind of keep an eye on that. We want you to be selling your items, and you want to be selling your items, especially if you're commission-based. So if this number starts getting high, if you start getting a lot of these, or a lot of the 2s and 3s, and you're just not sure why, let us know. We're happy to help. Maybe we can give you some pointers or tips, and that goes for any time. If you ever want somebody just to take a look at your auction and say, hey, what am I doing well? What am I not doing well? What can I improve? How can I improve my sales? Shoot us an email, shoot us a phone call, anything. We're here to help you. All right, now it's time to show you how to print your invoices. If you go up to the Invoices tab up here in the top right, you have 10 days to get your invoices processed, and we'll go over processing in another video. But the first step is getting them downloaded and actually getting your removal taking place. There's a download and print all invoices in the auction right here. Go ahead and click that. and it's going to ask where you want to save this. We just save it to our desktop, and if I click save, it'll be down here in the corner. This is on Google Chrome, and here you have your invoices. Now, a couple things about your invoices as an affiliate. You're going to have this box here in the middle. This is for your records and theirs. So what we typically do is we'll print 2 copies of the same invoice. So I've got 27 invoices, I believe, on this auction. So we'll actually do 27 times 2. So 1280, bidder 1280 will have 2 copies of this invoice. One we're going to give to him as a receipt. The second we're going to keep for our files. So depending on how they paid, if it was cash or check or credit, we'll mark the box and then we'll keep 1 copy for our own records and then give them another as a receipt. There is a second way to print invoices. Let's say you just need 1 invoice. So for example, Melissa, bidder 186183, you just want to get her invoice. You can click view, at which point it'll go through this process again. You can also click in the box if you wanted to do multiple ones. So let's say we needed Melissa's and Dale's. We can click those 2 boxes and go down to the bottom and create the PDF. This will do the same thing. We can save it to our desktop or wherever you'd like to. Open it up, and there you have Melissa's and Dale's invoices. And you can print those. You can do whatever you need to with those. And that's how to print your invoices. A couple little housekeeping things. One thing we recommend is that you call your buyers. It's generally a good idea to touch base with them in the morning and see what time they're coming. You can prevent a lot of problems by calling them ahead of time. You can also stagger your day better and help utilize some of your downtime. You're going to have rushes, usually in the morning, and at the very end of the day there will be a little rush. We usually see one around lunchtime too. By calling and knowing what time they're coming, you can help to smooth that out a little bit and have things ready for them. If it's somebody that's picking up 2 items and they're small, have them right by the cashier's table ready to go and make life easier for everybody. Lastly, if you see any incorrect contact information, there's phone numbers change over time, things of that nature, let us know. We can get it updated in the system, get it corrected. Even if it's wrong, like you called the number and it was disconnected, let us know that information too. And we have little tricks that we can do to try and get that updated from them. That's all I got on printing invoices. If there's anything we can do for you, give us a call here at KBID. Thanks.